hello, welcome to another Lyle Style Show here. We're here live together with our good friend. She's the founder and the publisher of the Iowa Source magazine, Claudia Petrick. I'm gonna say welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yep, thanks for having you. We're going to be talking with you a little bit about your magazine and how you started, but we kind of want to I'd like to get a little background, a little bit about yourself and how, and where you came from.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you, see, now, you're not originally from here.
Right. I grew up in Illinois. I grew up in a suburb of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And I moved here, I moved to Iowa in '83. And I'd been an English major, and I had done a natural foods newsletter for a friend, you know, just as sort of something to do for fun. And I really loved doing it, but I never thought about going into magazines or newspapers. It just never occurred to me. But when I decided to move to Fairfield, I didn't really have anything going for me career-wise. I was just doing clerical work, and so I thought, well, if I'm going to go to Iowa, middle of nowhere, from Chicago, this great urban city, I'm going to do something I love, and I'm going to have my own business. And so for a long time, I had been thinking of a bakery because I love to bake.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so I did a lot of research on bakeries and different kind of products. And I remember one day walking down the street, and this thought came in my head, oh, you could do a publication, or you could do I think it was like, you could do a newspaper. And I was like, oh, I hadn't thought of that. And it turned out there were a lot of new people in Fairfield. I thought there were a lot of interesting stories that weren't being covered. I always loved reading The Reader in Chicago. And in my head, I had this idea of something like The Reader, only for Fairfield, which, you know, Chicago, I don't know how many millions of people there are, and Fairfield is, you know, 9,000. So a much different audience, but that's what I had in my head. And so I think the first issue came out in March of 1984. It was only 8 pages.
That's 8 pages.
It was tiny.
Ooh,
it was all just about Fairfield. It was just a very local thing. And it just immediately sort of caught on. People were hungry to read these stories, to read about themselves. And I mean, it was just lucky. I think I've just been very lucky that I was able to offer something that people wanted. I had enough skills to put it out and to kind of keep going. My mom worked as a journalist for many years, so she helped me. I had some stories. It took me a while. I got there in October of '83, and I think it's like 6 months until the first issue. Took me a while to kind of get it together and to figure out what would be in it. And so my mom helped me a lot, and somehow the first issue got out. She loaned me $1,000 so I could pay for printing.
So that's how much it cost? That's how much your first publication cost, a grand?
Something like, yeah, but I was able to pay her back right away because I just immediately, I didn't know anything about advertising. But somehow it all came together. I got the ads, I figured out how to do layout. I really didn't have any experience in doing publication other than a newsletter. And it's just been going ever since.
Wow, I mean,
through many changes.
Yes, definitely. I mean, 28 years, that's a long time.
Yeah.
And evidently it's been growing all those years and whatnot. So, but a little bit of background about you. You're not a journalist yourself. You've never been to school for it. No,
I studied English literature, and I always loved writing. I guess I thought, I didn't really know what I was going to do with my English lit degree. It's just that I loved reading, I loved books, I loved good writing, and I didn't really know, but it has come in useful. I wish, you know, when I was in college, I'd known what I was going to do, and then I would have focused more maybe on different skills, but you know, you don't always know what you're going to do in life.
You never know. Sometimes it pops in your mind.
Yes.
Sometimes it's just a dream or a goal, something, you know, just pop in your head and say, wow.
And I was almost 30, and I just thought, oh, you know, I thought I was so old. I didn't know what I was going to do in life. And then I finally found this thing that I just loved doing, and I learned so much just by doing it.
And this is passion for you then?
Yeah.
Yeah, doing.
It is a lot of work, but it's something that just continually rejuvenates because every issue is a chance to start over and present a new theme or introduce new articles. I mean, there's always new ideas that we're coming up with for different things. And it's changed so much over the years. It started out being very much a local publication.
Okay.
But I think the intent has always been the same of focusing on positive stories, focusing more on features about individuals who are doing really interesting things that maybe nobody else was covering. Not so much a news publication, but features, articles, arts, that sort of thing.
Oh, right. Because I read, you know, one of your magazines, and I seen it. It struck me. I said, "Wow, this is a nice magazine. It's done real well. The writing's good. It's got a lot of advertising in it, but you need that. It has good articles in it, interesting articles in it." And I said, "Wow, I think I should talk to the publisher about this, coming on the show and talking a little bit about this magazine, because it's Iowa Source magazine, which it goes not only in Fairfield now, goes all over the state."
Well, since the 90s, it's been regional. And so we're pretty much based between Fairfield, Iowa City, Cedar Rapids, but we're also in Burlington and a little bit in Grinnell, Pella, Decorah. You know, there's a lot of little cities that we actually mail copies to.
Right. Now, you think about getting down the line, getting closer towards the western part of Iowa, like somewhere like in Des Moines?
Well, Des Moines, would be a great market for us, but it's so expensive to deliver. That's one of the big expenses, and I just, haven't pursued that. But yeah, that would be an interesting market for us.
That would be. I think that would be a booming market for y'all.
Yeah.
Because your magazine is not just, it's based in Fairfield, but it covers everything. It's not just covers the Fairfield, but it seems like it covers broader things, you know, in the state of Iowa. You know, just,
definitely.
I mean, people in Fairfield would read it, just like people in Des Moines, Iowa would probably read your magazine. Just
and
like
we do have
City.
an extensive calendar of events for the month. We kind of offer, it's kind of unique because there's a lot of calendars for different cities or different interest groups, but we try to take the best of all of those things and put them in one place for the month. And we do include a lot of events from Des Moines. There's so many things going on there.
Yeah, exactly, it is. I mean, summertime they have different festivals going on, arts type of stuff.
Yeah.
With the big, you know, in August, the big state fair. Yeah, state fair. So I'm quite sure y'all going to be talking about that. Now, like you said, you're originally from Illinois, from the suburbs, and so you've been in Iowa since the 80s, you say?
Yeah.
So you've been out here for quite some time now.
Yeah.
Okay. You have any family out here, or?
I don't have any family out here. In fact, all of my family moved east, and I'm the only one that moved west.
Oh, God. East, so like towards?
Well, Philadelphia and New Jersey.
Oh, okay. New Jersey. Okay,
Yeah.
towards the East Coast there.
Yep.
Excuse me. Wow. Okay. So, and have they been out in Iowa? Have they been?
Yeah, they have. They've been out. My mom was out just last summer.
Okay. Now she's from what? New Jersey then?
Well, my mom is actually from Ohio, but we grew up in Illinois.
Okay. You get so siblings or what?
Two brothers. They're both on the East Coast.
Now, what do they think about you in the newspaper business, in the magazine business?
Oh, they think it's great.
Yeah.
Everybody in my family is very independent, I would say. My mother is also a very independent person, and she raised us to be very self-sufficient and independent, and so we all do our own things. That's a good thing, to be able to not only have a family that's supportive, but let you broaden your horizons and do what you have to do. When my mom went to school, and when she went to college, she majored in journalism, and she had a journalism professor that must have been late 40s who told her that women are not journalists.
Well, really?
So that just made her more determined to be a journalist. So, I mean, that's the kind of environment that she studied in, and so much has changed since then, but she always had that strong desire and will to do what she wanted.
Now, she got into newspapers, or?
Yeah.
What, television?
Well,
or what?
she worked for the Cleveland Plain Dealer right out of college.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
And then she got married. And, you know, women didn't really work then. And I think, gosh, when my youngest brother was 5, she started doing a column part-time for our local newspaper in Glen Ellen. And then she just, over the years, she became more and more active until she was an editor for a, I don't even remember what it was called, one of the DuPage County papers.
Okay. She did that for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, then she retired from that some, or?
Well, and then she did a couple of different things, real estate, but she's retired now.
Oh, okay. And so I mean, now you've been into other things before, but the magazine business and you went to school to English, so
Yeah.
you know how to write stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So, now, do you write your own stories here?
I
You
write
yourself?
very little. I do a lot of editing, and sometimes I rewrite. We have a news section in the center that just goes to Fairfield, and sometimes we write or rewrite things for that. But I am such a slow writer, and I'm okay, but I always feel like if I can find somebody who is a good writer and wants to do it, I'd rather use their skills and use my energy for other things. I'm also selling ads now, and it's very time consuming.
I believe it is. So you got to talk to a whole different type of people.
Yeah.
And get involved and be involved with your newspapers.
Yeah.
That what makes the papers grow and work.
I think in the early years I did more writing, but
Did you?
it would just take me forever. And I think I'm better as an editor. I'm very critical, so when I write, it doesn't always flow out. I write and I rewrite and I'm critical, and I can end up with something good, but it's a very long process. So if I can find a good writer, and I do find a lot of good writers, I've just been very lucky in finding some just very high quality people who like to write for the source.
Are they on your staff, or do they?
Well, we don't really have a staff. It's just me and Sarah, who's my associate editor, and she's part-time.
Okay.
And I also have another sales rep, Jody, who is full-time sales.
Oh, okay.
So those are the only, and she's actually not an employee. It's more like sort of a contract situation.
Oh.
So we have a very small office, and all the writers are, pretty much volunteer.
Wow. To have that type of dedication to a paper like this type of size, shows the type of magazine that you put out, that people like it that much that they want to keep volunteering their work and doing things and find out. It must be quality type of magazine, which it is. I mean, I like the magazine. The color looks nice because every month it's a different color scheme for it, different cover for it.
Yeah.
So you actually have a photographer that does do all that.
Yeah, sometimes we get photos, or I find them online, just various things. And we weren't actually, we didn't go to 4-color until maybe 2006. Before that, there was a 1-color cover and everything was black and white.
Wow.
But I have a printer it's in the Quad Cities now. The size, it's very unusual. I used to print in Iowa City at the Press Citizen, but they stopped printing that size. So now I'm at the Quad City Times, and they have the capability for 4 colors, so that was something I had to learn.
Right. Yeah, okay. Yeah. And Quad City is a good newspaper. So because I know Press Citizen moved and went to another part of the. There was like off Don Street. They moved somewhere else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, moved somewhere else, whatever. So I guess they expanded though. But I mean, now your magazine, and now does this magazine reflect you? Is this part of this magazine part of you? Do you
I
put
would
yourself
say
into
it probably does. I mean, I try to be, I feel a certain responsibility toward it to present the very best that I can with the, I wouldn't say restrictions, but there's just certain things you can do kind of on a budget.
Right. Oh,
because we don't have a big fancy paid staff. And so yeah, I just try to, I look for maybe a certain uniqueness or personality or a positiveness in the writers that I ask to write for the source. And it seems like maybe the quality of it itself attracts new writers all the time.
Okay, yeah.
And people who
Yeah, I
see
can
like,
see.
oh, maybe I could write for this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the other reason that I'm able to get such good quality writers is that I provide a nice venue for them, and it's a way for a lot of people to read their writing and reach a much wider audience than maybe in a blog or whatever, but it's just a way for them to, you know, a writer wants to be read.
Yeah, exactly.
And
yeah,
so
exactly.
I know, especially in the early days, anybody who wrote for the Source, everybody would read it and they, oh, I read your article, and you know, and so of course, that was the motivation, is like, well.
Getting people to read what you write.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
Yeah, and to get the feedback, like, you know, because if you, I think it's a lot of our writers maybe do something else for a living. To have, or some of our writers have a special interest, like say music or books or bird watching, and so it's a passion of theirs and they like to share it.
Okay. Now, speaking of interest, now what type of interest do you have besides your magazine? You like do other things? Your hobbies or anything
My
like that?
hobbies. Well, I guess I'm sort of domestic. I mean, I like gardening. I like cooking. Right now I have horses. I actually keep on my property.
Really?
And that's a big. They take a lot of time. So that's something I always wanted to do, and recently
I love horses. I mean,
been able to have.
Yeah. I mean, I love horses. They are magnificent animals. They're so docile to a certain extent, but they are so strong.
Yeah.
They only knew what type of strength that they possess.
They're very strong.
Oh, very. I mean, and they're very beautiful animals.
Yeah.
And they're so friendly. You know, they get to know you, and I had some. I dealt with some horses, and I mean, I see them on TV, but when I do them in real life, I dealt with some horses in real life. And when I have food, they just come over to me because I didn't realize how much horses love to eat. They would eat until they can go to sleep, fall out. I'm thinking, what? And do y'all ever get tired of eating? Because I have apples and they come snatch them right out my hand. I have to have it a certain way because they bite my hand. But,
well, you know, it's very ingrained in them to eat constantly because they're range animals, and that's how you stay alive. You eat,
Ooh,
you know, constantly. So, like in a domestic situation, you have to be careful not to overfeed them because they'll just eat themselves
they eat themselves to
into
death.
oblivion.
Yeah, you're right. They're getting big. I mean, God, my goodness, man. Do y'all ever stop eating these horses? I can see why y'all so big because they was like, I mean, I'm 5'8". They like standing, you know, on all fours like probably 7 foot, you know, or 6'8", 6'9",
right?
And just totally no fat, just muscle, whatever.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're beautiful things. But you have to let them know who's the boss.
You do.
Yeah, you do.
Well, they're herd animals, so
exactly,
you know you have to be the head of the herd, and then they respect you.
Oh my goodness!
Because they're always trying to determine who's in charge here, and if you demonstrate you are in charge, they respect you. But if not, they'll find someone else in charge.
No, they run over me because I found that out because the guy said, "Well, you take this ring out and then take the horse around the pen." So I took the horse around the pen. The horse wanted to stop and wanted to start grazing.
Oh yeah.
I never done it before. The horse almost broke my arm.
Oh.
He took my. I was walking with him in front, and he just stopped, and his head went down. And when his head went down, my whole body went down. They said, "Lyle, you got to be strong with the horse." What?
Yeah.
The horse will pick me up and throw me somewhere. But no, you got to act like you're strong with the horse.
You do.
So I had to really, get your head up, and kind of, but. I was scared, boy, because I knew the horse was a little bit more stronger. If you want to,
they are more strong physically, but if you demonstrate you're in charge, they respect that. They do respect that.
Yeah, and I realized that too. But they're fascinating animals, so I was like, wow, to hear that's what you like doing, and because the horses I had that I was dealt with were, I think stallions, like racing horses, and little small horses.
Ponies?
No, not ponies. They were miniature,
miniatures?
kind of miniatures horses. Arabian horses. I'm sorry, Arabian horses.
Okay, yeah.
And they were old. They were like maybe 30 years old.
Oh yeah,
so,
they live a long life.
Oh yeah. So some of their teeth were kind of like I didn't realize how, you know, someone would gnaw on just their, because they were real old, so they retired, and they was living there just to live out the rest of their days and grazing, whatever they wanted to do. And so, but they still were big horses though. But,
well, you know, it's a nice counterpoint because all day I work in front of a computer and it's very intellectual, and you know, you're using you're always thinking, and with horses, it's just a nice counterpoint to that because they're just so earthy and grounded, and I just find I just forget all the worries and all the details of the day and just sort of relax because they're just always just very relaxed and in the moment.
Right, exactly. Sometimes it's good to be in the moment. Yeah. You know, instead of being not in the moment and have to be focused on one thing, you know, all the time. Sometimes I always tell people when I do my show, sometimes you have to stop and smell the roses, you know, because life is too short. Yeah. Life is too short, you know, so I just believe that sometimes enjoying your passion, enjoying your goals that you have, setting your goals, don't give up on your goals, enjoying what like you're doing, you know, as being, now I was going to ask you this question too, as being a female in the magazine business, was it hard to get into, you being a female?
Not really. Although it is interesting, when I started, I remember I talked to a couple of people. One of them was sort of like a business advisor, and I told him this idea. Another was a friend of mine who was in business, and both of them told me, it's never going to work.
What?
Or, you know, it's never going to make much money. And, you know, that might be true, but I think it's just because I love doing it. I've been able to make it work, and it's a very unusual audience. I don't know, I have a niche publication somehow, but I didn't let that stop me.
Right, you was determined. So that probably motivates you to say,
I know.
I'm going to start this
No,
magazine.
I think I can do this.
Yeah. Now, and what started you, okay, how did you come up with the name, Iowa Source?
I don't know. I just remember thinking of, I wrote down a bunch of different things, and there was something about source I liked because it's got a watery connotation, you know, the source of whatever, and also it's got a deeper connotation, like the source of life. It's just a word that really appealed to me.
Okay. Right.
That's how it happened. I just considered a bunch of different names, and that was the one that I ended up liking the best.
Oh, so you didn't like have
and it's, you know, the source of information. It's just got a lot of things going for it.
So like me, sometimes I come up, I'll be sleeping. I'm a cartoonist, so when I do my drawing, sometimes I'll be sleeping, and image in my head, you know, my sleeping will come into my mind, and I have to wake up and
write it down
or draw it or something like that sometimes. Or sometimes I'll be sitting there talking to somebody, and I see something in my, you know, in my head by talking to that person, and you know, it'll just come that way, you know, and I have to, that's why I should always carry a pen and pencil, because you never know where your next idea will come from.
That's right.
You know, I mean, you were proof of doing this magazine. 28 years is a long time.
I know it
because
is.
A lot of magazines, a lot of newspapers don't even last that long. A lot of small newspapers don't even last that long.
Well, I have seen a lot of publications come and go. I mean, and really good ones. There was a publication called Iowa City Magazine for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Really, I mean, they had top quality writers, and it looked beautiful, but I think that I've just always kept it kind of lean, and I don't have a big staff. I do end up doing a lot of things maybe that a normal editor or publisher wouldn't do, but that's all right.
Yeah. So
it's all right with me.
Yeah. So you kind of put in what 10, 15 hours work hours a day? You know?
Oh no, I don't work that long. No.
Okay,
I don't have that much energy.
You don't go that crazy, right? Okay, yeah.
No, but I do. I don't like long days, but I sometimes work weekends if I have to catch up.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. I mean, because this is your baby right here. This is what you created. Yeah. And you know, you have a vision for this, and I mean, to know a little bit of your background about you, that you not only do your newspaper, your magazine, that you also have a life, you know, other than magazine, and you involved in gardening and involved in doing things like you see a passion with animals. That's a blessing, you know, to have, because some people just put themselves in one thing and just all they have. Yeah. But you kind of have a little.
Well, I think it's good to have a balance,
right.
And I do find sometimes if I take time off, I don't take much time off, but when I do, you come back with fresher ideas and just looking at things differently, and so it's important. I'm always grateful that I don't have an office job where I have to be there
9 to 5.
Yeah, because I have done that, and I remember just sitting there, being bored or just tired. If you have a job where you're working that long, in my experience, some of those hours are not going to be productive because you just get tired after a while. And I'm just grateful that I do have my own business, so if I am tired, I can leave, and I can make up for it at some other time. If there's nothing to do, which never happens, but anyway, I do make my own hours. And,
do you do it at home, or do you do it in your office?
No, I have an office, yeah.
Okay, so, but do you do anything at home? Do you take
I don't even have a computer at home. It's just better to keep them separate.
Wow, so when you leave that job and leave your office,
I really do,
that's it?
Yeah.
No more talk about the Iowa source, or
it doesn't seem to be necessary. I mean, I think maybe in the early days, I would get more calls at home from people wanting this or that, but it doesn't happen so much anymore.
Okay, so you're a staff. Everybody knows you. Everybody knows what type of magazine you get and what they look at, what they're looking for. And because I was wondering now, you ever thought about putting some like some cartoons or something like that, into the publication?
Yeah, sure. We're always looking for anything.
Okay, good. I'm about to send you something. I'm a cartoon.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm trying to get me a job. No, but I mean, because like I said, your magazine is real good, and and now I feel knowing a little bit about you, knowing what type of person you are, and what you're doing, and how you started with your magazine, and a little bit about your background. It's amazing what you're doing. I mean, I commend you. I mean, I'm hoping that you get another 28 years doing this magazine, because it's a good magazine. But in our next half, we want to get into the deepness of this magazine and the articles, and kind of decipher a little bit about the Iowa source, and because we want to take a break pretty soon, in about another 2 minutes, and we come back. We want to talk a little bit about the magazine itself, and what's your plan for the future for the Iowa source, and where you want to go with this. So I think we're going to be taking we got a couple of minutes. You got a couple of minutes to start, because my producer gives me signs. That's one thing about doing the show. You have the producer gives you signs. So now, you know when to wrap things up. Because with me, I'll be talking now until it'll be 9 o'clock at night. Still be talking to my guests or whatever. But we always keep me on a time limit or whatever. And so I know where I'm going. Which you told me this is your first time actually doing television. Yeah. It doesn't seem that way, because you don't even seem nervous at all.
I know. I don't know why, but I'm not.
Wow, man. So I'm glad, because I like to have the show in a format to be relaxed and carefree, and like you to be talking like at my home and just chatting a little bit. I don't like nobody to be nervous or even though, because I'm nervous enough for the both of my guests. So I don't want both of people to be nervous doing the show. But
well, the thing is, I'm kind of a behind-the-scenes person. I mean, I don't have my picture in there. I'm just not very public. It seems to work for me just to be, answer the phone, answer emails. I don't give speeches. I don't know. You should, though. I don't. You know what? That's your next calling right there. Really, public speeches about women starting their own business and how they get started. You should do that, because I think you'd be a good one. So my producer give me a minute sign here. So hopefully we can get this. We're gonna have a PATV. Public service announcement coming up, and I want y'all to stay tuned and to the second half of the show. We'll be right back with our PATV and right back with our guest, Claudia.
Hey, Jersey! JYT! Iowa City! Hey!
Welcome back. Oh, that was a short. I thought we'd have at least a couple of hours before we come back to the show. But you know, hey, we don't have a couple of hours. We have to come right back live, and we talk with our guest Claudia about the Iowa Source. She's the founder and the publisher of this beautiful magazine. I don't know if everybody see this right here, the Iowa Source. It's a beautiful magazine right here. I'm going to get that. I'm on this camera right here. Look at that, a beautiful magazine right here. She does a wonderful job with it. I was reading the last. I read one publication of yours about maybe a couple of months ago. I was reading the articles and whatnot. Now you talk not only about Iowa, you talk about different views. You have like a movie review in here.
Yeah, we do.
So
Yeah.
I mean, now do you get your sources? How do you got somebody that does movie reviews here?
I have 2 people that do, excuse me, movie reviews. One of them is in Fairfield,
Okay.
and the other one is somebody who grew up in Fairfield, and he now lives in Seattle. And
Washington.
he started, he
Seattle?
started reviewing when he was only 16,
Uh-huh.
and because he had a passion for movies, and he continues to review them. And the advantage of him being in Seattle is that he sees releases that may not be open yet in Iowa. So, and we're monthly, so we have, you know, by the time we come out, sometimes the movie's already gone, but we do try to do it as much as we can in advance. So I have,
What's his name?
his name is Neil Farso,
Okay.
and he's just been great. He's just, you know, he's one of those people that has a passion for movies, and he really knows movie history, and so
That's
it's interesting to have him. And he also likes maybe more arty movies, whereas, and Patricia, she's the other, Patricia
Okay.
Drasna is the other reviewer, and she reviews maybe more conventional movies, so it's nice to have both, you know, like
a little bit of mix, a little bit of mix in the pot,
And I guess it was in December, I also carry a TV reviewer who does TV shows.
Oh, okay.
And he actually sends me
television.
reviews every week, which I post online. And then we post, you know, when the issue comes out, we also post TV reviews. And he reviews national TV shows.
What
He
about reality TV shows?
does everything.
Oh, wow.
He does everything, and he sees them in advance, so he can review them for us. So that's fun because
Now, is he here in Fairfield? Is he in Fairfield?
he's actually in Madison, Wisconsin.
Oh, Madison. Okay, so you got people from the Midwest, from the
Yeah, but
West
most of them
Coast?
are from Iowa.
Okay, yeah.
Those are really the only 2, and the rest are all local people.
All local people doing their thing, have a passion for writing.
Yeah.
Because I was going through this particular one. I like this because they reviewed The Hunger Games. I haven't seen. Have you seen the movie Hunger Games?
I haven't seen it, no.
I haven't seen it either.
I want to see it.
Oh, me too. I want to see it. I'm a type of guy that likes action, and I like special effects, and I mean I like a movie to apply to. This is a different. I never read the book, but the book about this young lady, girl that's in this time, whatever, where they have to be into some type of what is it?
It's a competition.
Competition, right?
Yeah.
To the death, something like gladiator type thing.
I mean, it's a very kind of gruesome story,
Right.
but people love the movie.
Yeah.
I think it's because she turns out to be quite a heroine.
Right, and it has some
kinda relate to
social
that.
content to it too.
Yeah.
That she has her own mind and speaking, about, talking to the young people about, well, you shouldn't be caught up in people's saying. You should think for yourself, so to speak. So that is good, Now and now you have a lot of things about gardening in here.
Well, actually, we haven't had gardening articles for a long time, but there is a writer from Iowa City, Judy Nassif, who contacted me, and she's going to do another article in May, another gardening article.
Good. Because I was reading this magazine and flipping through it, advertisers, got to have advertisers. But all this stuff is basically locally done in Iowa. You have
Pretty
a lot
much.
of writers from Iowa doing their thing.
And this was our home and garden issue. Every April we do a home and garden issue. That's why there are a lot more maybe home articles than usual.
Right. And so how do you pick what article goes in your newspaper?
Well, some of them have themes. Like, for example, there was the Home and Garden in May. It's health and fitness.
Mm-hmm.
Over the summer, we do a lot of articles on things to do, fun outdoor activities.
Mm-hmm.
And what else do? We did another health issue in the fall. So yeah, we have special issues, and then people contact us with
Right.
ideas, or we
Okay.
have ideas when we find writers, or people come to us and say, you know, there's a good story, so if I can find a writer to do
Yeah.
it, then it happens.
You know what? I have a story. I have a story too. Yeah, I would have to share that with you.
Okay.
Yeah, because.
Well, also in the Home and Garden issue, we do a lot of green
Yeah.
sort of articles, how to live a more green life.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. I mean, yeah. Man, you have something for everybody.
Well,
Something for
that's the
everybody
goal,
in this
isn't it? To have, it's a magazine, so it should be a little, you know, we always have something on investing, we have books, we have,
Book review.
what else do we have? Computer Frontiers, we have this, it's actually one of our most popular columns. Jim Carpin has written, oh my gosh, he's just been with us forever, and he
Now-
writes about different internet and computer issues.
Well, now I know somebody that I've heard about, I've seen, I talked to. I remember him back in the '90s. He has an article in your newspaper, in your magazine, Coffee.
Oh, Dan Coffey, yeah.
Dan Coffee.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I see his face. I remember him. I remember
Yeah.
him from the '90s, and he used to have a show.
Oh
that
yeah,
he did.
Dr. Science.
Dr.
Used to be
Science.
Dr. Science.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So is he a regular in your?
He is a regular, yeah.
Oh my
He's
goodness!
one of our regulars.
I have to, man. See, I saw his face and said, "Hey, that's Dr. Science. He's still alive." No, I'm just.
And there's Mary Helen Stefaniak.
Okay.
She lives here in Iowa City.
Oh, and okay, what she writes? She's
well, she has sort of an essay, a personal essay column, and she
Yeah.
wrote for us many years ago and then took a little break, and she, just a couple issues ago, is back and
Okay.
writing columns for us every month.
every month. Wow. Now your magazine comes out once a month.
Mm-hmm.
Does it come out? Okay. Does it come out like from January to December?
Well, the only month we don't publish is January, so that we get to take some time off in December. But it's so every month except for January.
Except for January.
Yeah.
So 11 months out of the year.
Yeah.
Wow. You are busy doing your thing, getting articles. Now, do you have a deadline for this magazine?
Yeah, we definitely have deadlines.
Okay. So what is the deadline? Okay. Now this is. Okay. This is.
Well, articles.
May is coming up.
Yeah. So articles are usually in the first week.
Mm-hmm.
I try to plan those way in advance so I get the articles done. And then ads are due, if they want us to design them, they're due by the middle of the month. And then the final ad is due by the 20th. And then we usually print around the 1st, but it could be the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, depending on how the print dates fall.
Oh, okay.
So we try to come out at the beginning of each month.
Now, okay. Now, do you do like special features? Like, say we want to do a special feature on a particular person, or particular people or article, whatever like that and stuff. Do you do special features like they go on the front of the magazine? Well, blah blah blah, whatever.
Right. Assuming we can find a writer, yes.
Really?
I do consider all topics.
Oh wow!
As long as they would appeal to the audience and sort of fit into the theme and the tone of the magazine.
Tone of your magazine. Now, what is your audience?
My audience?
Yes.
My audience
Are they
is
like
people
older people, young people? Do you have a mixture of?
I think it's a mixture. I mean, I would say, just because young people don't read publications so much anymore, I'd say it's more of a baby boomer audience. But I do have all ages reading it, and there are people that are looking for things to do and just interesting articles to read. People who are interested in arts and culture and travel.
Right.
One of our special issues is in March. We always do a restaurant and food issue, and that's always very popular.
Yeah. Somebody goes around into different restaurants and.
Well, what we've been doing is we have a contest we announce in February, and then everybody votes on their favorite restaurants, and then we announce the results and write them up in March.
So what was now for this? You had one not too long ago then.
Yeah.
And so which restaurant got the nod?
Well, our readers or voters almost consistently vote for Cafe Dodici in Washington, Iowa.
Oh wow! I never heard
Italian
of that. Okay, Italian.
restaurant.
Okay, must be a really good restaurant. People
Yeah,
like
people
that.
seem to really love it. Good service, good food.
Have you been there?
I have been there.
Oh, wow. See, dang, okay. I was gonna thought you said, no, I haven't been there, but I've heard so you've been there already, so you already know. Okay, yeah, that's good. So what, I mean, like I said, it's just so many things in this magazine that just caught my eye. Now, you have ads like for employment. You do those type of things?
Yes, we do.
Wow.
Not as many in this recessionary times, but actually we've seen an increase in employment ads, and a lot of our advertisers are venues, you know, like Hampshire and the Englert and the Sondheim, the Cedar Rapids Opera Theater, people who want to reach a broader audience for their productions.
Because this is an RC type of magazine. I mean, business people read this magazine, as well as just people that's in the arts read this magazine. Like you said, younger, baby boomers. So, man, so you have a really variety mixture of different, type of people reading your magazine.
Right.
And now, do you get into the demographics of your readership, or or do you know that?
I've never done what's the word? Not the research study or whatever, but
or who's actually reading your magazine, or how many people read
the early days. We did a survey.
Okay, survey. Right.
We did a survey in the early days, but we really haven't since then.
Just then, okay, yeah, because in the early days, like I said, you came a long way from just black and white to full color. And it adds so much to this magazine.
Yeah, color is great.
The color is great. I mean, from the cover, see, the cover gets me first. And I said, wow, it's interesting. And then I see the little things you have, the articles. I said, wow, let me look into the magazine a little bit more and then read a little bit more. So you do have people, you have some good writers.
Yeah.
To have the type of budget you have, I mean, it's amazing, for what you've been doing for, I keep bringing up 28 years of doing this magazine. Incredible, considering that we have a recession.
Yeah, well,
and
it has been tough. The last 5 years, it really has been tough. And it's just when I thought about, well, what would I do? I'd have to get a job. And that is one reason I personally started selling ads, is because I wanted to get our ad revenues up. And also, it's something that I never had done. I never had any intention of doing, because I actually am very shy, and I didn't like talking to people I don't know. But
you're doing a good job now.
I know.
Because
I started doing it,
and I really can't tell. It was a conversation.
I started doing it, and I found that it's not that hard, and it was really good for me. Because I am the owner, it was good for me to talk to people and to learn this side of the business that's so terribly important that I had always just avoided.
But you have a passion for your magazine, though.
Yeah, and so in a way, I'm a good salesperson, because I believe in what I'm selling, and I'm not just trying to, get money, but I go after people. I think, look, we have an audience for you, and I really feel like you would benefit from being in here, and you could reach people maybe you aren't otherwise. So it's kind of fun.
I could see that. And you have, like I said, a lot of your writers are volunteers. They volunteer their time, but you know what? It's a twofold. They're writing and they're getting people to read the article. So it could be a good resume thing for them.
Yeah, it's a good thing. And it gives them exposure. And some people are just, like passionate, like Rob Klein, who's also he's from Cedar Rapids, but he works here in Iowa City. And he does the monthly book column. And he's just very passionate about books. He reads like crazy. So it's great to have somebody like that who can offer his expertise and his experience to our audience.
It's very, very, very much so. I am definitely going to talk to you a little bit about having like a little cartoon section, like a little one panel type thing, because that would add. I'm kind of selling myself, am I? But that's all right. I could do that on my show. But I mean, like I said, your magazine is just so much involved in this magazine, and you got a spice for everybody. Like it's something for everybody to read.
Yeah.
That and I mean, God, I just can't look how it's well put together, with from the ads to the articles.
I will say that I think with color we've just gotten another level of beautiful ads.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of it has to do with the designer of the ads. The quality we've been getting has just really been extraordinary, and that does Makes the whole thing look good.
Oh, does it? It does. My goodness. I mean, I was just reading. You got TV shows. Talking a little bit about that. Pictures and music. So you said you do a little bit of music, whatnot.
Yeah, we have a couple of music columns. One of them is Steve Horowitz. He's actually a professor here at the University of Iowa, and he's another person who just loves music and knows so much about it, and he interviews a different band or artist every month.
And now, to top it off, you keep it simple because you come back to your roots with Fairfield.
Well,
so you
see,
talk
this
about,
is the 4-page section that's only distributed in Fairfield. It's all about Fairfield.
So you still keep that?
Yeah.
I mean, because you're getting big, but you still come back to your roots where it started from, which is Fairfield.
Right.
You keep it to where people in Fairfield can still read about themselves, read about, where they came from, articles that they like and stuff like that. So you're never going to stray away from that, are you?
No, it's really our core audience. It's the audience that kind of got the whole thing launched, and it's. In Fairfield, we have the largest circulation of any publication there. It's interesting in Fairfield because we have a daily newspaper, we have a weekly, and we have a monthly. And am I forgetting anything? But at one point, we had a bi-monthly. Wow. So we have a lot. I mean, there's a lot of interest there, I guess.
Yeah, it is.
What's going on?
Fairfield is different. I've never been to Fairfield. Like I said, back in '94 when I did my show, I had Veronica Butler on my show when she was running for governor.
Yeah.
She was the first African-American woman to run for governor in Iowa. And she was on my show a couple of times. And out of the, what is that? Common law, what is that?
Oh, it's the Natural Law Party.
Natural Law Party, right, Natural Law Party. Very interesting party. They have some good ideas. And she's on my show because she's a doctor.
Yeah.
She has her own practice in Ottumwa. And so that's how I knew about Fairfield, and I got a chance to talk with her press secretary back then and whatnot. And then now you were telling me about Oprah even came to Fairfield.
Yeah.
Interesting,
Yeah.
I mean, and that was just recently, I guess, because I remember.
That was last October.
Right, I remember hearing about that. And when you get Oprah on there, then you made the big times. But yeah, so I mean, Fairfield is interesting that, you could have came to any other town in Iowa, but you made your roots at Fairfield. Why is that?
Well, because I had been meditating, and there was a kind of.
Oh, you do that?
Yeah.
Oh.
And there were a bunch of people moving there who also practiced TM, and I wanted to meditate with a big group. It's a very powerful thing, and so I decided that's why I moved to Fairfield, to be part of that.
So you heard about Fairfield from Illinois, about what they was doing and whatnot?
Yeah.
Okay, because they do have one of the biggest colleges out there that's involved in that.
Right, everybody at the university there meditates, the Marcia University of Management.
Wow. Y'all probably have no crime there, do y'all? No crime in Fairfield, because everybody in there, everybody's at home meditating. So who could go out there and do anything? Everybody's meditating at the store, everything's closed down at certain time, days. Now, do y'all do that where everything shut down at a certain time?
Well, I wouldn't say everything shuts down, but I would say
that's what I heard. I
like at 5 o'clock when people go to the domes to meditate, that it does get very quiet.
Wow.
You don't have to be in the dome to feel it.
Really?
It's very settled.
So, because, Fairfield is a nice-sized town. Now, not everybody in the whole town is involved.
Oh, no, maybe 2,000 or 3,000 people.
Wow, out of probably 9,000, 10,000 people that live there.
Yeah.
Wow, but that's a nice size population, really.
Yeah, it is the largest group of people practicing TM together in the world.
And you've been doing this for how long?
Well, I started when I was 21, so.
Wow, just 4 years ago, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, see, that's good. That's good then.
Yeah.
So, you do look young, so, but I mean, like I said, I'm fascinated because, you do that. See, now I can see why you're so calm. Because that does help your meditation and whatnot.
It does.
And doing what you're doing, focusing, you can focus more because your mind is clear.
Yeah, and quiet,
And quiet, I mean, me, myself, I'm a Christian. I meditate, in prayer, which, to God and whatnot. And so meditation is meditation, Everybody needs to sometimes to sit back and just, and meditate and collect their thoughts. And my producer always comes out here at the time when I'm about to say something. He showed me these cards. But sometimes I wish people could see these cards that they, give me, so they know why am I keep looking over there towards that way. Just to meditate and just to, because I meditate every morning in prayer, and my faith in Christ, and so it's like I said, man, I wish the whole world would. You know what? This is my thing. I wish the whole world would stop at a certain time, at 5 o'clock in the evening time. The whole world will stop at 5 o'clock in the evening time and sit back and just get on their knees or whatever and just meditate. Whether you want to meditate, whoever you want to meditate. My faith is in Christ. For an hour, just meditate. Everybody, the whole world, every single body in this whole world stop at 5 o'clock. Everybody, y'all listen to me right now. Everybody meditate at 5 o'clock in the evening, at 5, like this young lady does, because she's so calm and whatnot. I can see it working, and we all will be a better place. No more crime. No more all the crime stops at 5 o'clock, to 5 to 6 o'clock. No more crime. No more doing this. We're gonna do that right now. This is a cause. You know what? This is a cause, right? I'm glad you came on this show, because now I got a cause to show that we're gonna do this at 5 o'clock in the evening. Everybody in this whole world listen to this show. We're going to stop and meditate for an hour. That means no more crime. We can't do no crime. We can't be doing anything bad. We just sit back and meditate and get our minds together. And from 5 to 6. And then we see how we are. And if we want to do crime then I don't know about that, so we shouldn't do it anyway. But if we don't feel better then something's wrong. Because you're living proof that you are a nice person. You seem like you're really mellow and focused on what you're doing. And,
it does create coherence.
There's
just something about, we live in a world that is so busy and so noisy, and just to take the time every day just to go inward and to find that deep level of peace, it's just something that is so precious in life. It's more valuable than anything to be able to do that. And that's why I ended up in Fairfield.
That's right. Well, you ended up in a right place for you, because that's, and your magazine, you could tell because your work shows. Because I'm telling you, I'm just impressed. I'm really, in an economy that's really, recession is really kind of bad. And our 28 years, you're still putting out quality work and good work, a magazine that's growing. I mean, it's not going backwards, it's going forward. It's growing. Each year, it's like it's getting better and better for you. Well, not 28 years.
Well,
28 years is remarkable to me.
Because the issues did get smaller, maybe starting in 2006, and and not as much advertising, not as much article, because of the advertising determined the number of articles, and so I just decided early on that I wasn't going to buy into the whole idea of recession and not enough, and so I did have more time, and so I just put more time into making it look better, just anything I could do to improve it, rather than just think, oh no, I'm going to go under or whatever. I just tried to make it better than ever.
Right, you have done that. Like I say, amazing 28 years. A lot of businesses, small or big, some really don't last that long. Don't last 28 years, and under your type of budget that you have. And you distribute this through the mid part of Iowa. I mean, I'm thinking that hopefully down the line, maybe people in Des Moines should come out and get this magazine. Hopefully we could get this in Des Moines, because that's a big market right there. I think your magazine would do real well towards the Des Moines, Sioux City, and there are little small towns in that area right there.
I think there's a big market for it because, as I say, we've been going to, like, for example, there's a lady who lived south of Fairfield and now lives in Decorah, which is far northern Iowa, and she just asked if we could send copies every month. So we send them to Decorah every month. Good. Which is really kind of way out of our distribution area.
Right. Well, you got somebody out there to read your magazine too.
Yeah. And then also in Elkader, there's a restaurant owner who said he used to pick it up in Iowa City, and so we send him a bundle every month. So just little by little, people are getting it.
You're getting it right, word of mouth. Quality work is going to get noticed. And I'm definitely going to be looking forward, looking at your magazine every month now. So, it's a beautiful thing. I want to thank you for being a guest on the show.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Well, thank you. And you know,
it's an honor.
Well, thank you. It's an honor that you have been doing this and sharing your story and sharing where you came from and how you got started with your magazine. And like I said, I really, sincerely from my heart, want you to have another 28 years doing this wonderful magazine right here. I really do.
Thank you. I hope I can.
I know you can. You know, that meditation
I
gonna work.
want to do it as long as I'm physically able.
Oh, you are. Well, you got another 50 years then. Okay, so I mean, it's a good thing, and I commend you for that and whatnot. And I hope the viewers out there keep reading this Iowa Source. I got to put it up again because it's a good magazine. The Iowa Source, you can get it hopefully in Iowa City, other places out there in Iowa. It's a very good magazine, good articles in there.
We have like 600 locations where you can pick it up.
Okay, see, there she is, 600 locations.
To find it.
We definitely should be able to find that. Subscribe to this magazine. I really, really commend this man. I really for this magazine and whatnot, and you have a website too.
Yeah, right. I put almost all the articles online, and then some stuff, you know, like the weekly TV reviews, those also go online. They don't go in print because there's just not enough room for them.
Okay.
So we have special stuff online that isn't in print.
Good. So go online and find it. But I want to, I want to say thank you again for being on the show. And you know, maybe next time you come back on the show and talk to us about magazine again. But I want to talk to the viewers because we did a show a couple of weeks ago, and you know, it kind of gets a little bit of controversy, so to speak. I'm a pet lover. I want people to know that I love animals. I love pets. I don't, and if I offended anybody on my show to a certain extent, I want to apologize because you know what? Everybody has a right to express themselves, have the right to talk about how they feel, have the right to their opinion. And you know, I value people's opinion. And so with the pet situation here, I just want to talk a little bit about, briefly, that we can have a dialogue about talking about pets and talking about the idea of these pet meals that I do not like, I do not agree with, I condemn them because anytime they treat a pet or animal badly, I'm not for it. So I want you to know that I'm not for anything and like that. But my person on the show, guess he's a nice guy, very well known in doing pets and whatnot, very good in knowing how to train, and I really think that he's a good person. But to address the two people that kind of made little comments, maybe y'all can write a letter, let me know, because I'd like to have y'all come on the show in the future, talk a little bit about pet meals and a little bit about the idea, maybe we can solve this problem and get a dialogue, or maybe we can stop this from happening, because we don't need no type of animal involved in any type of in cruelty, period. That I do definitely condemn and don't like. So, to me, any type of news to me is news. Any type of comment, I appreciate it. I take it in, I soak it in, and I appreciate y'all watching the show. So the ones that watch the show and make a comment, maybe y'all can get a hold of me, and maybe sometime y'all can be right here talking a little bit about this issue about the animal meals, puppy meals, which I don't like. I think we should never have none of them, and people shouldn't be a part of it, period. So you know how I feel about it. So hopefully I get that clear up with y'all that watched the show, that gave that comment, and I appreciate the comment that y'all have. And thank you for watching that particular episode, to keep watching the show. Until next time, well, we have to go. I want y'all to keep styling and profiling, keep watching the show. We're out of here. Bye.